Relationship skills. Learn how to not argue, because arguments are generally a waste of time. What happens when two people argue? They stop listening and start interrupting. Why is that? Because arguments lead to winners and losers. In a typical argument, they both want to be heard so badly they interrupt each other. This fellow has some important points to make. No, you're wrong. That wasn't what I meant. Let me explain. And his friend does too. You aren't listening. I didn't say that. What I meant was... But when they talk over each other, they stop listening, because you can't talk and listen at the same time. And if no one's listening, you can't resolve the argument. So what's the smart thing to do? The smart thing is to listen to your friend before asking him to listen to you, because you have total control over this. You might say something like this. Let's stop for a second. I don't want to argue. You talk and I'll listen without interrupting. Then let me talk and you don't interrupt, okay? Now who wouldn't agree to that? You've just given them what they want, to be listened to. What happens if he stops interrupting and just listens? This fellow starts talking quickly as before. But now he notices that his friend's not interrupting and he's giving him his full attention. So he can start again and take his time. In fact, because he's not rushing, he's able to be even more thoughtful, even acknowledging where he can see his friend's point of view. And when he's finished, it will be his friend's turn. He might start with some active listening. This is what I heard you say. Did I get that right? Now, let me talk without interruption. When you stop interrupting, you give yourself a chance to listen. What if the person is just not ready to listen? What now? You've only got one good response. Let's postpone this until later, when we've had a chance to calm down. If they're not ready to play by the rules, you're just going to get into an argument, and that's what you're hoping to avoid. What if the person just keeps interrupting, even after you've listened to them? Politely but firmly say, just a second, I'm not finished. Remember, we have a deal. I didn't interrupt you, and you don't interrupt me. What if it's a parent-child argument? The problem for parents is that it's so easy to pull rank. Don't speak to me that way. Don't interrupt. Ironically, it's usually the parent that interrupts most often. Here's a tip. To reinforce the don't interrupt rule, use a talking stick. Could be a pen or a pencil. Whoever has the stick has the floor, and only when the stick is physically passed can the other person speak. In order to change arguments into something more positive, plan to use the TypeFocus No Interruptions rule. The key is to invite your friends to go first. By honoring them in this way, they'll be more likely to listen to you in return. When you understand each other, you'll have a better chance to reconcile your differences. Good luck in changing all your arguments into dialogues. May they all be fulfilling and result in deeper friendships.